Hello, Bloomington. I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of November 30th. This week's council meeting was a study session that covered budget, racial equity, and process improvements for our city boards and commissions. Let's get right to it. I don't know about you, but I am ready to put 2020 behind us. But before we do that, there is one last bit of important city council business that we have to get done. We need to adopt the final budget and tax levy for 2021. Now, if you've watched these updates, you're aware of the budget challenge facing the city as a result of the pandemic. But in case you're just tuning in, here's a quick recap. The shutdowns of retail, entertainment, and hospitality businesses this year, as well as the overall slowdown in business travel around the country, have had a major impact on Bloomington's budget. About 13% of the city's budget has been covered by taxes that people pay when they stay in our hotels and have fun at places like Mall of America and Great Wolf Resort. Now, looking ahead to 2021, the economic downturn meant that we would be down about $5 million out of an $80 million city budget. To help the council and the staff work through these budget issues, we created a community budget advisory committee to give residents a voice in the decisions about taxes and spending, and especially about the services that might need to be cut to deal with the budget shortfall. The committee provided their recommendations in early November, and the council discussed those recommendations a few weeks ago and gave direction to our city manager to bring back a recommendation for final adoption. That's what we talked about this week. So the proposed budget framework presented to the City Council has 4 core values. First, it honors the work of the Community Budget Advisory Committee and the perspective of residents impacted by these decisions. The proposed budget limits the impact of property tax increases to the greatest extent possible during a year that is going to be a financial challenge to many taxpayers in this community. Similarly, it minimizes the impact of city service reductions to the greatest extent possible, recognizing that many people in this community rely on these services as necessary not only to their quality of life, but to their health and their safety. And finally, the budget for 2021 considers the implications and the impacts on future budget years for both the taxpayer and for the organization. With those principles in mind, the city manager's proposed budget is best summarized with these 4 points. First, property tax levy increase of 2.75% for 2021. This is nearly half of what we approved as a preliminary levy back in September, meaning we're reducing the proposed tax levy by more than 2%. Second, the budget reductions are primarily based on the prioritization of the Community Budget Advisory Committee. The budget proposes to create a tax levy stabilization approach that will act as a balancing strategy to buffer tax levy increases over the next 2 to 3 years to avoid having to reduce services further or to have large tax levy increases. And finally, the city manager is presenting a preliminary budget for 2022 that starts with a 0% increase to the tax levy. So what does all of this mean? The Budget Advisory Committee provided 3 tiers of reductions to be considered. The first tier was mostly comprised of service changes that would be largely unnoticeable to our customers. A notable exception being the elimination of the motor vehicle office. The second and third tiers included increasingly impactful and difficult reductions. The budget the council is weighing is comprised mostly of those first tier reductions. The resident committee was clear to the city council that they were focused on preserving the core functions of city government, with special emphasis on not making reductions that would impact public safety. The only cuts to police or fire will be the elimination of a newly authorized position in the fire department for 2020 that was never filled, and a reduction to police special investigation overtime that can be funded from police special revenue funds. So let me say that again. The budget recommendations from the city manager, using the recommendations of the resident budget committee supported by the city council, do not cut public safety. The proposed tax levy increase of 2.75% for 2021 and the conceptual 0% levy increase for 2022 is intended to limit the financial impact to taxpayers during a very difficult economic time. For 2021, the median valued home in Bloomington will see an overall property tax reduction of about $50 when considering the city, county, school district, and other taxing jurisdictions. The tax levy stabilization strategy will allow the council to control the levy and to limit reductions in service to the community, and that is a win-win for our residents and for our businesses. If you're a homeowner, you should have received your proposed notice of taxation a couple of weeks ago. The taxes shown there are based on the preliminary levy adopted in September. The budget the council is currently considering will reduce the amount that is on your notice. The City Council will hold a public hearing on the proposed levy and budget on Monday, December 7th, and we'd love you all to tune in and participate. Final decisions on the budget will be made that night or on December 21st. We talked about two other important items this past Monday night: racism as a public health crisis and process improvements for the city's advisory boards and commissions. For much of this year, conversation about racial equity have been front and center following events like the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, or how COVID-19 is disproportionately affecting communities of color. Back in August, the City Council discussed how racism is a threat to the health and the well-being of the members of our Black, Indigenous, and Peoples of Color community. We directed staff to look into how the city could take a holistic public health approach to deal with health disparities in our BIPOC communities. This week, we discussed a resolution to declare racism as a public health crisis. Some of our neighboring jurisdictions, such as Hennepin and Ramsey County, have passed similar resolutions. But before doing so in the city of Bloomington, the City Council wanted to make sure that the resolution was going to be more than just words on the paper and would actually produce a plan to improve our health outcomes that are free of racial bias. Staff presented a very well thought out process and plan to tackle the issue, but the council wanted to know how the city is going to commit the resources necessary to achieve it. The council directed the city manager to develop a funding plan to support the work before the council adopts a resolution that will set an expectation for the entire community. Expect to hear more about this in January and in February. Finally, the City Council spent time talking about the process we use to recruit, select, and onboard community members interested in serving as volunteers on the city's boards and commissions. Our community outreach and engagement team is working with the council to improve the way that we invite people into the process. The boards and commissions do really important work helping the City Council on policy issues across a broad spectrum, such as human rights, public health, planning and development, and property valuations. The commissions ensure that the voice of residents is heard in the policy process for the city, and it's really important for us to have a broad representation of the community engaged in that work. While we continue to fine-tune our own processes for selecting commission members, I do want to make sure that you're aware that the application period for some of these positions opens very soon. Be sure to check out this link on the city's website for more information. That'll do it for this week's Council Minute. We will see you next week. Stay safe, Bloomington.